I see you over there. Yep, you're on ChatGPT planning your next trip, and that's okay. But I'm here today to tell you how not to get burned doing so. Hey there, everybody. This is Cam DeJong, your host of the Know Where You Want to Go Travel podcast, and I'm so glad you're joining me here today. To give a little historical reference to my use of AI and my recommendations for it when it comes to travel planning, we can go back to December 2025 with the blog post, Stop Trusting AI for Travel. And that's going to be in the show notes. And in that blog post, I took a very black and white approach to AI. It was don't use it to book your travel. But that's not stopping people, nor did I expect my blog post to stop people. But we have to look at the data. AI travel assistant searches are up 350% in the last year, and it's not going to stop. This is how your neighbor is planning their next vacation. This may be how you are planning your next vacation, but you have to look at AI as if they're an intern. They could be the best travel intern you've ever had, but they're not a travel advisor and they're not licensed to be selling travel, of course. Interns are great as long as you don't have them signing contracts, booking your trips for you, and taking a second look or a third look at the itinerary you're planning out. So look at an intern or AI as smart, fast, eager, and working for free if you're on the free plan. But everything they produce gets checked by someone senior before it goes out the door. It's like a deckhand. They help sail the ship, but they don't chart the course. So when I look back at the blog, and again, it'll be in the show notes, travelers have been denied boarding over visa advice they got from AI. Hotels and destinations that don't exist are out there, and prices thousands of dollars off. I deal with that constantly where someone comes to me and says, hey, I saw that you can get a Virgin Voyage for $1,500. And the reality, it's $5,000 because AI's history is not up to date unless you're using a browsing plan. And I don't want to go into the technical jargon of it, but most of you are likely using the free or the $20 a month plan. That's not going to give you as much of the ability to get most current information. But even recently, I had someone reach out to me and say that they had some restaurant recommendations from AI and they wanted to know what I thought of them. I looked them up. The second one on the list has been closed for over a year. That is just AI 101. So what do you do? What do you do with this? You think of AI as a sophisticated autocomplete. You're thinking of what you want to do. AI predicts what it should do or what you should do, but it doesn't always look up those facts, as I was saying. Sometimes you have to fact check it. Quite often you have to fact check it. And it really never says, I don't know. Even when you call it out and say, that's totally wrong, even to this day, on July 2nd, 2026, it apologizes. You're right, Cam. I should have, I could have, I would have. It still does that. That alone is a danger sign. So what is AI actually great at? Well, that's okay. There's a lot of things it's great at, even though I'm kind of dogging it a bit in this episode. It's good for brainstorming when you only have a vibe. You want something warm, walkable, with great food, under 5,000. It's good for first draft itinerary skeletons and day structures. To be clear, itinerary skeletons, not the entire itinerary. Packing lists, phrase cheat sheets, yes. Neighborhood orientation. What's this location or that location like in October? What's going on the week before? Is there a giant festival, an event? What's going on when I plan to be there? What's going on right after? Those are things that are important to ask because if you're coming in on the 10th and there's an event that ended on the 9th, the airports are likely going to be busy from people leaving that event. Same thing on the other side. And that's what we help people think through as well when our sailors reach out to us. But besides that, summarizing your options so you know what questions to ask a human. That is very, very important. So think about this on the credibility side. You have to put yourself in the shoes of a travel advisor. Put yourself in the shoes of a business owner. And if you are a business owner, even better. You can use AI in your own business, but you don't ever, or you should never let it ship anything unverified. So you want to be a filter for it. And in this case, I'm the human filter for the robot's hallucinations. Get the pun? Of sorts, nations, when you work with me, you'll take a Virgin voyage to another nation. I tried. So what are these rules? I have 5 intern rules that I put together for this episode. You can use AI for, or your intern in this case is the AI. Brainstorm, don't book. Anything involving money, dates, documents gets verified at the primary source, the airline site, the cruise line site, the official government entry pages. AI, or your intern, can plan to dream. Primary sources confirm the reality. Give it a real brief. Plan Italy. If you say that as the prompt to your AI, you're going to get the same generic greatest hits itinerary that 5,000 other people who asked the same thing, gave the same 2-word prompt, got. How fun would that be to show up at your vacation in Italy and 4,999 other people were standing right there at the same spot you were because everybody used that same generic basic prompt? So what's better? 2 slow-paced travelers in their mid-50s. We hate lines. We love wine. One of us cannot take stairs. That's more useful, and it helps hone in on what you should do. AI is only as personal as what you feed it. And that's the same reason the perfect cruise quiz that we have at KWYWTG Travel is in place, because we want to walk you through whether or not Virgin Voyages is the right cruise line for you. If it is, great. If it's not, we refer you out. There's nothing better than having someone come back and say they had a time of their life. There's nothing worse than someone coming back saying that this was not for me. The same thing can happen in any type of travel. Think about the number of times you talked to someone who came back and had the time of their life on their vacation. That's great. But you've also probably heard from 1 or 2 people that came back and said, I wish I would not have gone there. Was it AI? Well, maybe, maybe not. But it could have been a number of factors, but it's so important that you're qualified properly before you take and invest so much money into a vacation. AI can help with that, but a travel advisor really solidifies and ties that bow for you very well. Another tip, make AI, make your intern argue with itself. The best prompt most people never use. What's wrong with this itinerary? You let it come up with an itinerary. You don't just run with it and say, this is great. Ask it what's wrong with it. Ask it what it is you're not considering. You say you don't want somewhere with a lot of stairs? Well, the AI doesn't know that you still don't want to climb mountains. It doesn't equate the two. So you need to equate those. What here is likely out of date? Most AI models are working with information that's not up to date. You have to understand that. And then when you find out how current that information is, you have to understand how that paints the time sensitivity when it comes to pricing, to schedules, to rules, when it comes to visa or passports, restaurant hours. And it's really just a rumor until you confirm it. And you should always keep a human in the loop for expensive parts. And I would argue not just expensive parts, but all parts. So the AI drafts, the human verifies, helps you book, and answers the phone when you need them for your trip. So again, I don't want to show this as a contradiction to my own work on my blog. I want to show this as it's really a don't trust it and use it well as the same advice idea here. It's more of you have a job that you can do better as a traveler if you have the right tools and the right mechanism to use those tools. So AI can tell you where people like you tend to go, but it can't tell you where you should go. Knowing where you want to go, that's the name of our show. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Again, this is Cam DeJong, KWYWTG Travel. We exclusively work with Virgin Voyages, but if you take that perfect cruise quiz, which is in the show notes, and Virgin is not a fit for you, we have an amazing referral network that we work with. And if Virgin is for you, we'll absolutely work with you 100%. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, share this with your friends and family. I appreciate so very much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.